Okay, so I was saying, Andy, if you remember on the last lecture, Andy, is we have
Yeah.
three major movements that happens in the market, and we
Yes.
have the downtrend. In English, it's mostly highlighted by a series of bearish candles, and these red ones,
Yes.
and then we have the uptrend, and where the
Yeah.
market is going up, and it is mostly shown by a series of bullish candles, and then the third type here now is what I highlighted on this area, and where there's no clear movement of the market, it is being pegged. You see? Uh, like if you see from this point up to this point, we do not have a clear market bias direction, and of either
Yes.
knowing where if the market is going up or is going down, and yeah, it's likely going down, but overall we have no clear direction, right? So this type of movement is what we call choppy or consolidating or sideways movement, right? So my main concern on that assignment that I gave you, right? When I said if I entered, let's say a buy here, right, or it can be a sell here, and so the thing with a choppy market, it plays with your emotions, right? Where it can go into profit, into loss, then into profit, then into loss, right? So uh, we actually edge traders to avoid this type of market, right? Okay, so I was talking about the sideways type movement of the market, right? Which is not the uptrend
Yes.
or the downtrend, right? The one that we refer to as choppy, consolidating, or sideways market movement, right? So I
Yeah.
was saying to to be profitable, right? You either have to trade the first two major ones, which are the uptrend or the downtrend, right?
Yes.
So on the assignment that I last gave you, right, where I asked if we were to buy here or either if we sold here, right? So
Yeah.
as you can see, there is a little like downtrend, right? But this type of downtrend is not going to be profitable due to the choppiness character of the market, right?
Yes.
So what we encourage rather, even through experience and through reading many books, it is to avoid this type of market, right? So when I asked in the group that time if this was a good investment, whether to buy here or to sell here, whatever the direction bias you chose, right? The answer that I was
Yes.
actually looking for was for someone to explain that the market behavior was not going to be profitable in the long run, right?
Okay.
So if you come around at this point, right? If we if we go like to this point, right, where I highlighted with a red arrow, right? So if we took our sale around that area, as you can see, the market didn't do much consolidating. We just sold from this point, and then the market it went down, right?
Yes.
So essentially, these are the moves that we are going to be looking for, and these are the behaviors that we are going to be trying so hard to avoid, right? So then it comes the next question where would ask where we would ask ourselves how to identify this type of movements before they happen in the market, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So mostly we it all comes back to the main strategy that I use, which I told you that I use a series of order blocks, fair value gaps, and then market structure, right? So essentially,
Yeah.
that is where my whole trading strategy is based, right? It just involves around seeing the market structure, identifying areas where there's like large imbalances. Yeah, are you familiar with what fair value gaps are and order blocks?
No.
Okay, you didn't read that. Okay. So it's fine, right? So essentially, we're just going to start from what we refer to as price action, right? And then we'll move on to those concepts, right? So yeah, there's
Okay.
going to be like a whole area where we are going to focus on what is called smart money concept, right? So essentially, our first lessons, as you can see, right? Yeah, it's just important some that those guys are not in the lesson. So what we will do, right? What I would recommend us to do is we will conduct this lesson as if everyone is available, and then
Yeah.
tomorrow do you go to work?
Yeah. Almost every day.
You close around what time?
Tomorrow same time. Six.
Okay, it's not an issue, right? So yeah, it will also help with your personal growth, right? So we'll do the lesson as if everyone is attending, and then tomorrow around the same time, I will check on the information that you'll be giving the others, right? So what we'll do once this lesson is finished, I would urge you to like
Yeah.
do a write up of what we are going to talk about, right? And then tomorrow you are going to try and explain that to everyone else, right? So I'll be attending that lesson and I will be marking if you actually remember the things that we're going to be talking about correctly, right?
Okay.
Okay, so like in price action, the concept that we are going to look at and focus on. Oh, so if you want to like go deeper with price action, you are free to do so. I will share some PDFs in like the group, and then you can decide whether you want to stick on price action or you want to explain or you want to expand further into SMC, TMM or MMM, right? I'll send some PDFs where there will be like a detailed explanation on each strategy, right? And then everyone can
Okay.
try and decide on what is going to be more profitable for them. But
Yeah.
like the stepping stones is price action, right?
Yes.
So we are going to like look deep, deep into candlesticks.
Okay.
So what we are going to do, right? Just for a startup, we are going to like be trying to identify like key points, right? So in price action, we call those support and resistance. Okay, let me just give you a quick guide on how support and resistance will work like, right? Okay, so yeah, to make it okay, let me just open to a different tab for now. Okay, so it looks
Okay.
something like this, right? So if we are to touch a point like that, then we extend it all the way up to here. Like, okay, this is just a rough drawing, but this is the basis of support and resistance, right? So if we have 2 points that the market reached and it bounced off of, we are likely to anticipate the same thing for the third touch, right? Okay, so like,
Yes.
what am I saying? If you see, we have an arrow here, like where I put it, right? And then we have another movement around this area, right? So if we were to touch this first point and then join with the second point and then extend that line all the way up to somewhere around here, right? So we
Yeah.
could expect the same behavior from the third point, right? So if we see over here, this point when the market reached bought, right? And then
Yes.
around here it bought, right? So
Again.
on the third touch, we are going to try and see if it's going to buy also. There is
Okay.
also, there is like, there is a strategy that is based on